Hello and welcome to Property Box News. I'm Simon Evison. The big news this week is that the government is set to abolish Section 21 in England and Wales with the announcement of a consultation phase and probable change in the law later this year. It will mean that landlords will no longer be able to evict tenants in a short space of time after a fixed-term rental contract has ended. Secretary of State for Housing James Brokenshire said that it will effectively create open-ended tenancies, bringing greater peace of mind to millions of families who live in rented accommodation. The government says that the Section 8 notice and the court system associated with it will be overhauled to provide a speedier service to evict a tenant where there is a genuine fault. So, where do we start with all of this? There is a polarised opinion across the industry, of course. And the government says it's a good thing. Mrs May has said it gives renters the long-term certainty and the peace of mind they deserve. At the other end of the scale, Arla Propertymark Chief Executive David Cox says today's news could be devastating for the private rented sector and landlords operating within it. The effects of the tenant fees ban have not yet been felt, and now the government is introducing more legislation which could deter landlords from operating in the market. He makes a really strong point here, and it's echoed elsewhere, that this comes at a time when the demand is dramatically outpacing supply and rent costs are rising. National Landlord Association Chief Exec Richard Lambert says landlords have little choice but to use Section 21 because they have no faith in Section 8 and the capacity of the court system, a point they raised many times, particularly last November when they said not fit for purpose. RLA Policy Director David Smith has similar fears, saying we need the majority of good landlords to have confidence to invest in new homes. This means ensuring they can swiftly repossess properties for legitimate reasons such as rent arrears, tenant antisocial behaviour or wanting to sell them. Now, the mainstream media in their TV news programmes last night would have you believe that all landlords are ogres and evict tenants with a moment's notice and put people on the street. The homeless charity Shelter states that Section 21 is the biggest cause of homelessness in this country. In fact, research by Manchester Metropolitan University has found that in a large majority of cases where tenants are asked to leave their properties under Section 21 notices, there is a clear reason. The study found that half of the notices are used where tenants have rent arrears, they are committing antisocial behaviour, or they're damaging the property. Other common reasons include wanting to sell, or there's a need for refurbishment of the property. The report's authors argue that this raises questions about whether the use of Section 21 notices can be properly described as no-fault evictions. Now, there are concerns that this consultation is merely lip service, and this is going to happen no matter what. Therefore, it's felt that reforms to Section 8 and court processes are absolutely essential. Government data shows it takes over 5 months from a landlord applying to the courts for repossession to it actually happening. The RLA believes that it is important that a reformed and improved court system is able to bed in and the grounds to repossess properties are properly improved before making changes to Section 21. The NLA commented on this by saying the government should look to Scotland, where they reformed the court system before thinking about changing how the tenancies actually work. If the government introduces yet another piece of badly thought out legislation, they said, we guarantee there will be chaos. More legislation will only deter new landlords from operating in the PRS, forcing existing ones out and put further pressure on the housing demand in the rental market. The RLA and others agree that talk of security for tenants is essential, but without homes to rent in the first place, there will be more homelessness, not less. So, what are your thoughts on this? We really need to hear your comments on this so that we can follow on with this story. And it's a story we will follow closely as it develops. And finally, you may remember I talked about Zoopla banning its No DSS wording in its lettings adverts. Well, Rightmove has followed suit. The site has written to its clients asking they remove the wording by the end of the month, and in their letter to clients it states No DSS is an old term which many tenants don't understand, as the DSS was replaced in 2001, so should not be used. Good news all round. Well, that's all from me. We'll see you next time. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe. Goodbye. Rightmove has followed suit, and it has insisted that all of its clients remove DSS wording, no DSS. Start again, please.